to the entrepreneurs of the world. We're going to go down to Atlanta. Mitch is with us, CEO of MFG.com, talking about outsourcing production. Now, I like this story, Mitch, because entrepreneurs can't afford to manufacture things themselves. And that's kind of where you step in, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's where we step in. Yeah, MFG.com is an online marketplace for the manufacturing industry. Actually, it was inspired 11 years ago. I had been in manufacturing and in technology, and I heard a commercial on the radio for lendingtree.com. You know, request your mortgage and the lenders compete. And I thought that someone should do that for manufacturing, and I was passionate about manufacturing and set up the marketplace. So
were you a manufacturer?
I actually started my career as a machinist. I worked in a tool and die shop doing metal stamping dies for automotive parts and plastic injection molds. So I learned manufacturing from the ground up, but was passionate and had a talent for technology as well.
Okay, so I'm an entrepreneur and I'm making a widget that needs to be manufactured, but I can't afford to open a factory. I don't want to send it to China. I don't even know how to get to China, quite frankly. So I come to your site?
Yeah, if you come to MFG.com, you would typically create what we could, create a request for quote. We call that an RFQ. You upload your design specs in a very secure way, and then that matches up to the factories around the world, and you can choose local, national, on the other side of the world, wherever you want. It matches up to the factories that have the right equipment, expertise, and capacity at the right moment in time. And then online, those factories will begin to collaborate with you, give you price quotes, and ultimately, once you get the quotes, you can evaluate them, look at the rating system, no different from eBay or anyone else, which is a self-policing community. And it brings market transparency. It's no different than what like Orbitz does for air travel. You go there, you want to fly from Chicago to New York. You see who are the airlines that fly that route and what are the prices. Similarly, if you want to get a mortgage, you go to LendingTree, and the banks come in and give you the best. The best deal that suits what it is you need.
Right, so I have some leverage over these suppliers, right? And now, I guess I have the ability to decide or to go with a manufacturer who will make 100 versus 1,000. Let's say I only need 100.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all part of specifying what it is you want to find the right manufacturer for you. But that was an interesting word that you used there. You're having leverage over them. But where the real leverage comes in is through the market transparency. I believe that somewhere in the world there's a uniquely prepared supplier to make whatever it is you need made. They've made similar things. They have certain expertise. They've tooled their factory a certain way, and the traditional challenge is how do you find and how do you connect with that factory at the right moment in time? And that's what the internet was made to do, to connect people, companies that never could have found each other by traditional means.
But there's got to be some drawbacks to this, right? I mean, I put my fabulous idea out there. Do I worry about the loss of my intellectual property?
Well, that's always it's always a possibility. But how is that any different than if you email your drawing to someone or if you send it by overnight courier, right? So you have to use prudent measures, right? And there's cases where we employ DRM, which is the digital rights management technology. We're sending your RFQ and your drawings to very secured groups, so you know who it's going to. So no matter what method you use, whether it's fax or email or however, there's always that, and you have to be prudent about it. And we've developed a lot of best practices around that we help our customers benefit from.
Drawbacks was that I'm at the mercy of my suppliers, but I guess that's in anything, right?
That's in anything. We became a society probably 20 years ago when it started, that companies started shifting from being manufacturers to being brand owners. And so they just started outsourcing. And I think that's the right thing to do. Now, there are some antitheses to that. I mean, if you think about NCR, fantastic corporation, they recently sort of resourced or reshored, opened up a big place in Columbus, Georgia, where they're building ATMs, the self-service grocery checkouts, DVD kiosk, added a bunch of jobs, built a local ecosystem. So there are some examples in America of companies like NCR that are reshoring and doing a little more vertical integration.
Right.
But for the most part, companies have gone to brand ownership and outsource the design and in some cases and the production. By doing that, it gives them a factory of virtually unlimited size. You can scale up, scale down, no fixed capital cost.
Mitch, you have over 200 employees, offices in Atlanta, Bangalore, Paris, Shanghai, 200,000 plus members. How are you making money?
We're making money on a membership basis. So the factories around the world pay us a subscription fee to be a member. And that subscription fee is tailored based on the geographies they want access to, the industries and the vertical segments. And we cover mechanical, like machining, molding, fabricated, smokestack type manufacturing, and also textile and apparel as well. I would love to one day figure out, our transaction volume going through the marketplace is so huge. Right. I would love to figure out how to get a piece of that. But that's been the one challenge of B2B marketplaces. How do you get a piece of the volume in the transaction without driving the herd off the platform?
Yeah.
So the membership, at least everyone, once they pay their membership fee, there's no incentive to go around the platform.
Mitch Free, it's a great idea, and entrepreneurs out there should be taking note. Mitch Free, CEO of MFG.com, buyer or manufacturer or supplier, both you take. Check out the site. It's MFG.com. Mitch, thanks for being with us.